Bullet with Butterfly Wings, 1997, Smashing Pumpkins. Now when you watch the shorts, the cards go right along, which I'm going to go over with these lyrics. Beautiful. The world is a vampire sent to drain. Secret destroyers hold you up to the flames. And what do I get for my pain? Betrayed desires and a piece of the game. Even though I know, I suppose I'll show all my cool and cold like a job. Despite all my rage, I am still just a rat in the cage. Well, you know, it's titled Get Off the Wheel. And it's titled Get Off the Wheel for a reason. We also have a thumbnail of another flower today. The third flower came out by itself right in the middle. These are very significant. Yesterday, two came out, right? Two together. Now the main one came out. In these lyrics, it also says, tell me I'm the only one. Tell me there's no other one. Jesus was the only son. Yeah. Tell me I'm the chosen one. Jesus was an only son for you. Despite all my rage, I am still a rat in the cage. You know, so what I'm getting at is there is one power looking over us all, but there's many, many, many guides and angels, and we have so much help. So we're supposed to get off the wheel. Change is coming. Five of Diamonds was the first one. And when it said the Five of Diamonds, it also said, let's get this back up here. We'll go ahead and go in there. But they're working at bringing you down. That's the only thing they have left. Okay? The only thing they have left is bringing you down. So any way they can do it is how they're going to do it. Okay? We're going to go in and read the cards the way Astro wants me to read them to you. But in Astro last night, we were doing a lot of taking out the systems. So if you know what taking out the systems is, that's what we were doing last night. And if you listen to Seraphine's last one, I just listened to it now. I usually do all my stuff first, and then I listen to her, my higher self, for confirmation. But it's a lot about the looking glass. It's a lot about taking out the systems. And that never shocks me because that's what we do in Astro. And then she's just reporting on it. And that's all I do is I come back in my physical avatar and I give it to you in more of a kindergarten talk where she gives it to you more in a scientific, galactic, maybe college talk. So between Seraphine and I, the full message, the full energy is given every day. Again, that's Chosen Chronicles with Seraphine from the Galactic Federation. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go in there and do them cards. But if you listen to the shorts, it really follows well. It follows real good. Okay, so let's go ahead and go in here. We've got the Five of Diamonds, which is change, and then it said working with others to create chaos and conflict. Now, that's what's changing. See, we've got curiosity in reverse. You're no longer curious of who's messing with you and what these changes are. You're no longer worried about that because I think you figured it out. I think most of you by this time have figured it out. So you're no longer really curious. And judgment is being served. We're serving karmic sandwiches like the LA Soup Kitchen. All right, this is our destiny, 17, the star. This is our destiny. You want to check up the Star of Bethlehem. I've already told you. I believe it was a Pleiadian starship. Okay, we have decide to be happy now. This is where it gets into the get off the squirrel cage. Get off the wheel, right? And that's St. Michael's Sword of Truth. So once again, if you listen to the shorts and then you listen to or you watch these cards, big message. Check out the lyrics to the song. I read you some of them. Okay, you are the magician. You have the power. Stay in equal give and take because you have to remember that judgment's being served. You don't want to start getting greedy or getting unbalanced. So stay equal give and take. So you've got the magician and then the 6 of Pentacles and then the Queen of Cups. Definitely you want love. Out of all these cards, I think we only had St. Michael's Sword of Truth, the magician, equal give and take, the 6 of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups. So that energy right there with the star and decide to be happy now is its own little message right there, that group. The first group was change. They're trying to mess with you, but you're no longer curious because you pretty much got this figured out. Now we're just kind of waiting for everybody to finish their meal, their karmic sandwiches. Okay, and then the last part of the shorts that wasn't on the video is this is your life's purpose. Right underneath the star, the destiny card, right? This is your life's purpose. So don't give up before the end. Don't break down. I'm feeling a lot of people getting really sick of this shit, which I don't blame them. Honor and trust your feelings, and that's giving me that feeling of the 6 of Pentacles again, where I said equal give and take. Don't get too far out of balance. Go forward fearlessly. I think these were on the shorts. Yeah, they were. This is just the end part of the message, because I remember these 2 cards. It was kind of like they were like this or like this. They were together. Go forward fearlessly and guarded and protected. So go forward fearlessly knowing that you're guarded and protected. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to shuffle up a few of these. We had the 5 of diamonds on the bottom, right? We're going to go ahead and underneath the 5 of diamonds is you got the King of Hearts, which is the Queen of Hearts and the King of Hearts. So that makes sense, right? The King and the Queen now. This is what I asked, what's the change, right? What's this change coming in and what am I supposed to tell you for the final message? That whole beginning was the shorts. So you got to watch the shorts. That's Smashing Pumpkins, 1997, Bullet with Butterfly Wings. Now the message of change is that the Queen and the King of Hearts are coming together. They're coming on together and they're going to do their 9 of Hearts, which is they're going to make their wishes and desires come true. King of Hearts, Queen of Hearts. The change is the wishes and desires are coming true. So don't give up before the miracle happens, is what it's saying. Okay? Top of the deck is Eight of Cups. You've walked away from the past. And Four of Wands. You'd like to go towards love and marriage. So again, everything I just said about the Queen and the King of Cups coming together. And you want to make your fantasies come true. 10:51 on the clock, 10 of Hearts. So yes, yes, yes. You want to make your King and Queen come together. So you're going to have to get off the wheel. You're going to have to know that the karma sandwiches are being served. You're going to have to take that curiosity and leave it turned around. You don't need to be curious on who's messing with you, who's creating the chaos. It doesn't matter. Judgment's being served. St. Michael says, just go forward fearlessly with your mission. Three of Wands we seem to have every day. That's the girl going out into the community and doing her thing. The guy going and doing his thing. And then we've got the wild card, the Joker card, upright, lights flashing in the back. Be you. I'm drawn to how he's so creative on that bicycle. And he's just gonna be you. Now we had the Magician. The Magician with the wild card. So you can do this. Just stay balanced. Definitely stay balanced. We're going to take another few cards from under Working with Others to Create Chaos. And they're going to try to do it through childhood trauma. So they're going to try to bring up childhood stuff. It's kind of like when you go to a holiday function, maybe Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner, which I told you guys to stop giving the pagan holidays any energy. But it's that kind of energy where someone always starts a fight. We used to always say, well, what was the Thanksgiving massacre? What was the Christmas massacre? The day after the holidays, we'd always look on the news to see who killed who, because it always comes up. They try to get you through childhood trauma. It could also be you yourself still thinking about childhood trauma. Every time something comes up, I push stop. The stop button is getting worn out. I asked St. Michael last night to put in a new one because as you can hear the sirens maybe in the background, confirmation that it's getting pretty chaotic, and the only thing that they got really left to do is mess with our minds. So we need to get off the wheel and get our stop button redone because mine wore out. I've had to push stop so many times because that's the only way they can get us. Oh, remember that, remember that. All the songs and music that we listen to bring up memories. Everything brings up past. And we got to keep telling ourselves, no, I'm not listening to it. And then we have Divine Masculine, the Emperor, after that. And he has under that Sudden Change, the Tower. So there's a sudden change coming in for the Emperor or your Emperor energy. And I told you that yesterday, I think. I said, if you don't snap out of this toxic situation that you're in, a tower's coming. And I kind of just left it real brief on yesterday's video. But today they're saying that the devil's under that toxic workspace. So I think it has to do more with your work than your personal life. Toxic workspace. The Emperor. Tower. So you're either going to quit, get fired. You probably need to quit before you get fired. if you're not going to listen to these warnings, like I told you yesterday and today, watch both energies and see what the Spirit's telling you, because everyone's going to be different. So if you listened to yesterday when I mentioned it, it was like, if you don't listen, a tower's going to happen. If you don't listen, something's going to happen, right? I don't remember exactly what I said. Today, same thing. It's like, if you've already left the toxic situation, good. Then all this means is that around you, there's going to be a lot of turmoil. Like, we had somebody light a warehouse on fire not too far from here in Ontario, California, a disgruntled employee. I used to work for Kimberly Clark. It was my first sober job at a sober factory, just for us that were getting sober. And that was back in 1996. And right before a Smashing Pumpkins song there. And it was Kimberly Clark, and it was a branch of it. And he lit the whole warehouse on fire. I'm sure you guys heard about it. And, you know, he didn't have to do that. He could have quit his job, just like I'm telling you to do, before he did something stupid like that. Okay? So that's the energy here. Are you going to get off the wheel? Because if you're not, something's going to happen. So, and then yesterday I also saw 2 different stolen cars. One guy is shot and the passenger's in critical condition in the hospital. The other one, the guy is dead, I believe. You woke up in the morning, and instead of watching Miss Mystic, you decide to steal a car and end up in prison or dead. It's just stupid, you know, all this stupid shit that's happening. And a lot of it is because the NPCs are being activated. I've told you about that. But it's just every day you turn on the TV set and it's like, did these people wake up in the morning and just say, I'm going to just go ruin my life? You know, it's like, if everybody could just watch the energy and listen, does that mean everybody's got to quit their job today? No, but if you're in a really toxic situation, whether it's a wife, a husband, I don't care what it is, a job, and you keep hearing me tell you that a tower's coming and you're not listening, you know, I really don't have a lot of empathy. Okay, so again, we're talking to you through music, the music card. So I'm going to kind of wrap this up because all it's doing is telling you to go back to the shorts, go back to listening to Smashing Pumpkins from 1997. There's a lot of messages in there. The whole album, but particularly that song. So get off the wheel. Whatever you're doing to prevent this toxic situation from exploding, do it. Your curiosity has been turned around. You do know judgment's being served. It's good. Go forward fearlessly. You are protected. And get that king and that queen of hearts together. We had the pentacles, queen and the king of pentacles last week. This week, it's the love. So first they had to be steady and know what they were going to do and be totally not codependent. And now that they've got into their mode and they're in this energy, it's bring the 2 loves together or bring the love together. So I'm seeing the difference from last week to this week's energy. And this week it's much more on love than it is figuring out the plan or getting ready for the plan. Now it's kind of like we're hopping into the RV. We're all packed, we're all ready, and we're ready to cruise down the road listening to some great music from the Smashing Pumpkins. Okay, and what's under that? Divine love. Everything I just said, totally backed up. How cool is that, huh? I am Miss Mystic. Thank you for listening.